I want to take a few minutes here and talk to you about empathy. It's an unbelievable subject. It's a great topic. It's something that we can really sink our teeth into here. First, I want to start with a working definition. What is empathy? Essentially, empathy is the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to see yourself in somebody else's eyes, to feel for another person, right? To understand another person. And often sympathy is confused with empathy. While they're similar in some ways, they're very contradictory in some ways too, because sympathy relates to pity and sorrow. It's very close relatives to sorrow and pity. Now the problem with sorrow and pity is these emotions morph into internal repressed emotions, whereas empathy, which is the ability to relate, to understand, inevitably, guys, it becomes an action. Right? If I see somebody on the corner who's panhandling and he's begging for money, and we see these guys every day, and if I walk by him, if I've been in a similar situation, if I truly understand the plight of that individual, if I understand the circumstances that might have brought such an event to bear, if I understand the humiliation and embarrassment that person might be going through, if I understand the chemical imbalance that might be in place for such an event to take place, if I understand the abuse and lack of role models, if I understand the variables, it's hard for me not to reach out to that person on the street, whether it be to give him a few cents, whether it be to sit down and understand what's going on, whether it be to direct him to a place that can better assist him, whether it be to sit down and just pray for the guy. It's hard. If I truly understand what he is going through, it's hard for me not to reach out. And that's the brilliance of empathy, is that 7 times out of 10, it causes an action. Unfortunately, empathy is one of those qualities that is, it's not God-given, it's not innate, contrary to popular belief. It's not something that is just, something that's placed into your DNA. It is something that is acquired. It's something that is acquired the hard way. Nelson Mandela, he didn't build empathy an easy way. He built it the hard way by going through hardship and calamity and tribulation and trial after trial after trial, because he had been through so much, he had seen so many different aspects of suffering. He was left with this incredible empathy, and this empathy God used, of course, and he turned into one of the great leaders of our time. And such is the case with many other heroes from the annals and archives of history. So empathy builds greatness. Here's the kicker to empathy. It has the capacity to have an amazing boomerang effect. See, we often think when we're being empathetic towards a specific individual that we're offering them a gift. We're giving something to them. But the empathy is one of those things that, it can boomerang, and often does boomerang right back to us and becomes the gift that is given back to us. Now, we all have people in our lives, or have had people in our lives that we feel have mistreated us, right? Have maybe misunderstood us, have abused us, have done us wrong, right? And we feel we're left with a sense of anger as a result, maybe a complete unforgiveness. Now, if we have empathy, if we can reach for empathy for these particular individuals, we can quell our anger, and we can even reach forgiveness for these people, because if we can understand the plight, their plight, the reasons for their behavior, the circumstances that led up to them behaving that way, then we can have empathy. And then in turn, we can quell our anger and we can forgive them. And that's the greatest gift to us, after all. So empathy is one of those things at its highest point, at its zenith, at its pinnacle. It allows us to offer love to somebody else, and it allows us to offer love to ourselves. Thank you so much.